Hey guys, it's the WalterFootball.com After Dark Show for May 17, 2025. We're going to take another look at the Week 1 lines, talk about a potential Y2K pick, the Battle of the Horses 2.0, if I may say. We'll get to that as well as many other things on the show tonight. Before we do, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. As always, I'm wearing something from the merch store. It is not the navy blue t-shirt that I wore on both Wednesday and Thursday show. It is my brown t-shirt, which I'll say is like probably my third fancy shirt, maybe second, someone would say. You can get that as well as many other things on the in the merch store right here. Let me refresh this to see if we have a deal here. We don't have a deal. So as I always say, the apron's 30% off, which is nice. I always say that like these 20% off sales pop up all the time. So if you guys are looking to get something to help us out, you should probably wait for a sale. But if you really want to help us out now, any of that would be really appreciated. And you might be like, "Where's this brown shirt you're wearing? Where's this fancy brown shirt? I want to wear this. I want to wear this to a wedding." That you can click on something and change the color. There are so many options here, so it is pretty cool. And like I said, it really helps us out. You can go to Amazon, buy my books. The most recent one is Jerks of the College Years. It's rated 5 stars, so it must be one of the best books ever written. I had a lot of fun writing it. I think you guys have a lot of fun reading it. It's basically just me making fun of people. I saw at Penn State for 6 years, and also please consider super chats, super stickers. It's the best way to support the show. We had a great super chat from John Sanders earlier this week. As always, Slew, Jenon, Can't Make an Eagle, Armac, Karmic, The Boss, Evan, even like you guys have been so great with your contributions. Really appreciate it. Just can't say that enough because YouTube ads like absolutely pay nothing. Like it's a joke. So, all right, we're joined by Tom at Quacky T. Tom, how's it going?
Walter, here we are again. Hello to you and hello to everyone out there in the Walter football family. I'm sure I've got plenty of nonsense for us tonight. And then, as you said, there's a potential Y2K pick on the board, at least for now, as I alerted you earlier this week via text. But hey, but yeah, before we get into that though, I wanted to ask you this. Like, okay, so like let's say in like any professional sports playoffs, like, okay, like the Knicks just beat the Celtics. Do you think like a representative from the NBA that comes to their locker room and like meets with the New York Knicks and they're like, congratulations, as a result of you winning the best 4 out of 7 of these games, we cordially invite you to the Eastern Conference Finals? Like, do you think they're like, okay, like we accept? Like, I mean, like, what if the other team just showed up?
If a representative from the other team?
No, a representative from the NBA, like or like, I don't know, like you win like the NFC Championship game and like Goodell shows up, it's like, as a result of your victory today, I'd like to formally invite you to the Super Bowl. Do you think that ever happens? Like, or they just know, like they're the ones.
What if they don't know? If they don't know, they won the series. They have no idea. It's just like we're going home.
No. But I mean, is there just like like any sort of like formal like speech or anything? Like,
I doubt someone from the league comes in. I wonder if the league sends the owner an email saying that. Like, yeah, I don't know. It could be that. And like, what if like it goes to spam and like the owner doesn't get it and he's like, oh, what do we do now? I have no idea what's happening here.
Right. But I mean, like at the very least, like do you think there's like some record of it? Like they're sending like a document, like at least a letter in the file somewhere. It's like, you have been like this officially like marks that like you have, as a result of your win, you're now like invited to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. There might be like an official like thing, like an official letter sent out. Like it could be a letter, could be an email. Like I don't think why would they send a representative? Like just like a waste of time to me. I don't know.
What's weird? I think about this with like stats all the time. It's like, I mean, we're just kind of trusting what we read on the internet.
I guess so. I mean, you always. I mean, that is fair to an extent. Like, I'll be listening to a podcast and I'll hear a stat or something, and then I'll repeat it sometimes without checking it. But like, if it sounds off, I will check it, like double check it myself. But I mean, I feel like that happens more with politics more than sports. Like, I'll hear something on a political show and I'll just reference it just because I trust the people that I'm listening to. Like, obviously, if I didn't trust them, I wouldn't listen to them. but like they may have gotten the wrong source and they reported it wrong. I'm sure that happens all the time. Like, and I'm sure that happens with sports too. And there's a lot of misleading things, and that could just create opportunities potentially to make money via like betting. If you're like a lot of there are a lot of like I feel like consensus opinions out there. Like, for example, this whole week, I've seen like a few power rankings or projected standings now that the schedule's out. I like everyone I look at on Twitter has like the Bengals like 12-5 or something, like first place in the division, or losing out by a game in the AFC North. I'm looking at this and like, you people have no idea what you're talking about. Like the team with the worst defense in the NFL and a horrible offensive line is going to win 12 games. Like I don't know. I mean, maybe Joe Burrow's like that amazing, but like he's not going to have any protection. All he has are Chase Higgins. Like, granted, those guys are great, and I like Chase Brown, but like if 5 superstars, the one superstar on defense may not even play this year in Trey Hendrickson, and like everyone is predicting them to go 12-5 and win the division. I'm like, you people are insane. Like I just really want to bet the Bengals under win totals, and I mean, really, like, I don't know if you looked at the week 1 lines. Browns look pretty juicy. I'm not going to say that very often, but the Browns +6 or whatever they are, +5.5, 6. Week 1 at home against Cincinnati. I think that looks outstanding to me. But I don't know. But like, what were you like referencing with like incorrect stats? Like, you see, have you seen like anything like personally?
No, but I'm just thinking like, how could like it's definitely not like it's a non-zero number, like the discrepancies that are in like any given like statistic, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I think I talked to you about this before on the show, maybe a few weeks ago, maybe a month or maybe 2 months ago. I can't remember exactly when I said this. I know I said this to you, but like I remember like hanging out with my cousin and one of my best friends one night, and this is like 20 years ago. Like we were drinking, and like I was like, what is the truth exactly? Because like if like one of you becomes famous and like someone gets your birth date wrong, and like everyone thinks that is your birth date, even though it's not, like, what does that make that the truth? Or is like your actual birth date the truth? Because like if someone points it out and we're like, no, it's the other date, like, because everyone knows it. I feel like that's the same thing with stats. It's like if someone hears something, if it's all going all around on social media and everyone sees the same stat, and you're like, I know that's incorrect, but like if you point it out, you're going to be like ostracized. You're going to be like everyone's going to be like, that's wrong. You're wrong. You're going to be like you're going to be community noted on Twitter and stuff. So like it's funny how that works. There is a consensus, my thought, I think, in like opinions, like I said, with the Bengals, but also like in facts and stats and whatnot. And I think that sometimes what is going on your end?
So, sorry, I'm getting like a bunch. No, I apologize.
we had Andy on the show on Thursday. His phone started playing too.
Sorry, sorry. I forgot to turn on do not. My phone's always on do not disturb, except for the time I need it on do not disturb. Sorry to interrupt your.
No, it's Mr. Popularity over there. A comment from Patrick. Walt, I know you mentioned So Rare before. Is there any way to make money on it? I put no money in and played for a month for MLB, but it isn't giving payouts like Rainmakers did for PGA. Yeah, so with Rainmakers, like it always costed money. So like you were always going to get paid out. The free version of So Rare, like you can make money off of it. You need to get lucky though, or like just play an amazing lineup. You need to be like great and play an amazing lineup, just because like there's so many people playing for free. And like in the free contest, like it doesn't directly pay you out. You can win cards though, and you can sell those cards like the free contest. They give you the yellow cards. The yellow cards are I don't know if they're not rare. I think they might be uncommon or something, or maybe they're limited. They're called limited. So you'll get a limited card, which is yellow, and depending on who it is, like you can sell it on the open market. So for example, if you get like Joe Schmo, you can sell it for like maybe $1 or something. But if you get like Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge, you can sell it for $80 or more. Or you can collect them and play in the non-free contests, and you can win money that way. Like in I believe first place for limited is like $400. And they're generally, I can actually tell you right now, in the limited contest, the money contest, there are 2,000 people in it. If you go to red, which is rare, which is like the elite level in Rainmakers, there are 467 people in that contest. First place is $900. The legendary version of Rainmakers, which is called super rare here. I don't know why they don't call it so rare here. There are only 84 people in the contest. I'm currently in 36th in that contest. That pays out, I think, 12 or 1300 to first place. And then the unique version, which is the Rainmaker equivalent, I believe that pays out 1,600. But there are better payouts for NBA. I think like the scale in NBA, I want to say is like 800 for the yellow, 2,000 for the red, 4,000 for the blue, and 5,000 for unique purple. So there's definitely more money in NBA, and like it seems like every year they increase their payouts. So like hopefully in a couple of years we'll be able to get like 5-figure payouts if this keeps growing. But like it is growing. It's only been around for like 3 or 4 years. And like I said, the payouts keep increasing. But if you're playing the free version, it's tough. Like it's tough to get paid out just because. Paid up. What I mean by that is get a card or something, just because there's so many people involved. You can also win essence. In baseball, you can, if you have 1,000 essence, you can craft a card. And I believe your odds, like they show you the odds on the page, like your odds of getting a star, which is your Otanis and your Judges, like it's 2%. You're most likely going to get a tier 5, tier 4, tier 3. Tier 3 is like actually pretty decent players. 13% to get tier 2 and 4.8% to get tier 1, which I would assume is probably like Schwarber or maybe Bryce Harper or something. I don't know exactly who tier 1 is, but I mean they're really good players, just not the elite guys like Otani, Judge, Bobby Witt, Lindor, and Skeens, etc. But yeah, like I said, it's tougher to advance in the free contest. But if you have like a few gold cards, like good ones, then like you can definitely win money on that, and like or essence, and just like win cards and sell those cards. So it's kind of like it does pay out eventually, but you just have to be patient with it. It's not Rainmakers. Like Rainmakers was awesome, but in fairness, like Rainmakers always cost money. Like so rare, you can always play for free, and it's going to be tough to get something, but like you can get something, and if you do, it's just a great ROI because you're not paying anything to get into it. So yeah, I recommend it. I have fun playing with it. It's sorare.com. They have it for NBA, baseball, and unfortunately soccer, not the real football. That's that kind of stinks. That fan man says, as a Lions fan, I feel this stat defender take. People love spouting the can't win with new coordinators trope versus Detroit. It happened 5 times before. All 5 times made the playoffs, and 2 won the Super Bowl. Who won the Super Bowl? I would love to know. I know the Eagles made the playoffs at least, but they just they obviously weren't nearly as good. Patrick says, I played Rainmakers for free and got like $5 to $10 a week on PGA. Oh, because you get the free cards to begin with, right? Okay. Yeah, but like the core cards, like they would cost money, right? If you wanted to upgrade, and like so rare, they give you like all the core cards are free, like the superstar core cards. So, I mean, like I said, Rainmakers was definitely better, but so rare I think is pretty cool too. So, I do think the NBA version of so rare is better. It is easier to win that way, I think. So if you wanted to wait till NBA, I think that's what I would do. But anyway, you sound like you're saying something, Tom.
Oh, I've got a pick for us for week 1.
In week 1, okay, let's get to it. So
with a futures prop attached to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
2 for 1, nice.
Give me the New England Patriots over 8.5 wins at even money. I see it over here. And give me the Patriots in week 1. I think they're going to be better than you think. Look at their schedule. I think it's definitely doable. I like the Patriots this year. I think they're gonna be a team that exceeds expectations. I really do. I don't know why. It's just a quacky feeling, but I want to put them on the card maybe week 1.
So confused because I didn't realize the Patriots win total was 8.5. That's insane.
Well, on hard, I looked it up just now. It's plus 100. I mean, even money plus 100.
No, I mean that's what it is on FanDuel. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked by that. To see that.
Yeah, I don't know. Look at their schedule. It's not that bad. And I mean, outside of Buffalo, like I mean,
I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
well, sure. Let's look at their schedule. As you can see, I have the Chargers up here because I'm doing my Chargers season preview.
Yeah, look at Patrick over here putting his mortgage on the Pats under. Hey, that's why I'm here. You know, maybe you think my picks are terrible. Hey, Patrick, I watched that eulogy episode, by the way, Black Mirror. It was good, but anyhow, sorry.
All right, well, let's look at their schedule. We start with the Raiders, at Dolphins, home to Steelers, home to Panthers, at Bills, of course. They play the Bills twice. At the Saints, easy. At the Saints, easy. Although for a team that's not that good, I don't know if any game's easy. Browns, home to the Browns, home to the Falcons, at Buccaneers. Home to the Jets, at Bengals, home to the Giants, home versus Buffalo, at Baltimore, at Jets, Dolphins. I mean, that does look easy. And maybe that's why you don't play the under, but maybe that's why that total is 8.5. That is a very high total for the Patriots. I would have thought 6.5. Like when you said 8.5, I thought you were looking like an alt line by accident. And
I don't know, maybe. I have a quacky feeling on this one. I've got a quacky feeling on this one. I think I might take it.
Well, Sue pointing out here, players seem to overperform for Vrabel. Quacky may have something here. It's definitely true. I'm not opposed to this. I just, man, that number is just so high. It seems like they're begging you to take the under, which I guess is the reason to bet the over on the Patriots, but. I don't know, man. They go to 9-8. Like that, the team is just not that good. Like, I get it, but I don't know. With the schedule and the coach, yeah, sure. If Drake May takes the next step, it could happen. But I don't know. They have no receivers. The pass rush is very shaky. I don't know, but maybe Vrabel improves those areas. The pass rush at least. So. Yeah, I don't know. Patrick says, great episode. I've been watching Always Sunny recently. Season 4 Ghost. I still can't get into it, unfortunately, though. Going to rewatch Twin Peaks Season 3. It's sad that you can't get into Ghost. I think Ghost is a great show. I love it. I think it's so funny. It is they do say like stupid one-liners sometimes, but I don't know. I've really enjoyed the character development with all the different ghosts. Like it seems like it almost seems like Lost in that, they do the flashbacks and stuff like that. And whatever was in the past is like, it seems to motivate their actions. I know it's not like nearly as serious as Lost or as good as Lost, but I just think that like the kind of like the flashbacks fueling the character development. It kind of reminds me of that at least a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I do like it though. And I just finished Young Sheldon, which was like, tearjerker in the final 3 episodes. If you watched Big Bang Theory, you know why. Not that Big Bang Theory is a good show, but Young Sheldon was actually like really good. And the finale kind of surprised me. There's a twist to the finale which I enjoyed. So I don't know if I can talk about it on here. It's fairly new, so I don't want to spoil anything. But I think it's worth watching too.
Sorry, do you want to read some more comments or?
Well, I see this here. So this is wrong. I think it was both the 04 Pats who replaced Charlie Weiss and Romeo Crennel, and then the 22 Rams who replaced Kevin O'Connell, Brandon Staley. Well, the 04 Pats, they still had Weiss and Crennel when they won their 3rd Super Bowl. I remember like when they won that Super Bowl, the 3 of them, like Weiss, Crennel, and Belichick, all hugged together, because they knew that that both of them were going to leave. So that was definitely the last time. And then Crennel went to Cleveland in 05 and Charlie Weiss went to Notre Dame in 05. And in that 05 season, the Patriots underperformed. Like they got to the playoffs, but they lost in the second round by Denver. They got shellacked by the Broncos. They just weren't clear. They clearly weren't the same team without their coordinators. Like they really missed them. The 22 Rams replaced O'Connell and Staley. Well, okay, so I don't know. Like, I'm just not a big fan of Brandon Staley. Yeah, like maybe that's the thing here. I mean, Sean McVay is just such a mastermind. Kevin O'Connell obviously has done a great job in Minnesota. I'd have to look into that one, but it was the 05 Patriots who didn't have Weiss and Crennel, so they definitely underachieved. And the Patrick says, I'm so serious when I say I cannot name 3 Pats players. Is Stevan Ridley is on the Patriots, so that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
I'm gonna push a little harder on this issue with you to get you on my level. We got to take the Patriots week 1, man. Come on,
Well, tell me about
-3
week
against.
one. Tell
Yeah,
me about week one.
come on,
Before.
against the Raiders in New England. Come on, man.
Well, they're 2.5 -122 here, but
Come on, let's take the Patriots.
well, sell me on them instead of just saying, "Come on," like why do you like them?
I don't know. This might be the Y2K pick. I just know,
Mm,
Usually the
okay.
Y2K pick comes in week 2, hence the 2 for Y2K. I don't know. I think the Patriots are going to be better than. I guess I don't know. I feel like some of my best picks I don't have logic behind, but I guess some of my worst.
Mm.
I
Well,
I like the Patriots, man.
okay. I mean, okay, sure. I was going to ask you for reasons, but that doesn't.
I don't know. It's just. I've got a weird feeling about them this year. I think they're gonna exceed expectations. I might take that over 8.5 wins too.
I'm definitely good with taking the week 1. I wish the spread were -1, like because as we know, Mike Vrabel loves winning by war margins, like 17-16, like
Yeah,
12-11, like
13-12.
13-12, 15-14, 13-13, like that's Mike Vrabel. If it's a war, Mike Vrabel loves it. I'm sure he's a history buff. Like that's he like aims to win that way, and like I could see this game being like 16-15, and the Patriots win, and the Patriots start 1-0, but they don't cover the spread. I was gonna say maybe take the money line, but that -156 is very ugly. So yeah, I don't know if I do that, but Kevin pointing out New England will literally melt against Miami week 2. Yeah, that game's going to be 1:00 in Miami in the Florida sun, in the Miami sun, which is pretty brutal. So there's that. Also, we have the two Florida teams. The other two Florida teams hosting week 1 games too. No, it's the one. Sorry, there's only one. It's Jacksonville. Jacksonville hosting Carolina, and I think Tampa hosts the Jets in week 2 or week 3, if I remember correctly. That's where I got that from. But yeah, we have Jacksonville with that advantage in week 1 this year. But yeah, that's something to watch out for. Miami's big home field advantage in September home games at 1:00. Like this is crazy. Like, the Patriots going to be wearing the dark blue uniforms in like the 95-degree heat and humidity. It's going to be brutal for them. But even still, like I feel like they could, you could be right about over 8.5 wins. I'm just shocked to see that number. Like that is like severe sticker shock, because like the Patriots last year we won with under 4.5, I think. They went from 4.5 to 8.5 without like signing any major players. Stephon Diggs signed, but like he's coming off the torn ACL. They did add Harold Landry too. Like, that was a nice move. Milton Williams. Milton Williams is unproven. I did like the signing. Landry's a really good player, and he played on their Vrabel. So, the pass rush will be better. I don't know though. Like, I don't know. The offensive line, I think, is the big question mark. And obviously they drafted Will Campbell, so maybe he'll up, and like they signed Jarrett Wilson, or they drafted Jarrett Wilson in the 3rd round as a center. But like the rest of the offensive line looks shaky. Morgan Moses is the right tackle. He's like 1 million years old. So
1 million years old.
Okay, maybe not 1 million, maybe like 100,000 years old. He's 34, which is it's not that bad, but he's an older player.
1 million years old. He's younger than we are.
Yeah, all right. So it's NFL terms here. Sue says, "I'd like to go to the racetrack with Quacky." Why do you like that horse? I don't know. I just have a Quacky feeling.
Hey, ask Walter. He's all the Y2K picks have been Quacky feelings. I just know sometimes.
But we had a really good reason for Eagles over Vikings. Was 3 years ago.
Yeah,
there's definitely logic behind that, and I think you had logic behind Eagles over Packers because you just thought the Eagles were that good.
Yeah, but I mean, I just remember looking, like, as soon as I like looked at the schedule, like it hit me, like I get that feeling, and it's like, no, I know this is going to happen now. And it's very rare that it happens, and you know what? It's scary when it does, because that game we're talking about, the 2022 week 2 Eagles and Vikings game, I picked that game out for a few months. I was over at your house when we picked that one out, but you get kind of scared too, because like I don't know. I'd like to think I'm sharp on some level. Like I love to go against the grain. I really don't have, like, I don't really bet like that too often anymore, but like, you know, like all the plays I send you, like baseball and hockey, they're all like they're always underdog plays.
Yeah.
But like I remember thinking, if these lose, like if the Eagles, like if I have this feeling and it doesn't come through, I'm going to question like everything about my ability to like handicap a game, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, they came through. And like, do you feel the same about this game that you did Eagles over Vikings week 2? Like, I find that hard to believe. Because we had like sound logic behind that. Like, there's so many reasons why we like the Eagles. And that was like that was my pick of the month too. Like, I love that game. But like, you know, you're not giving me reasons for the Patriots. Like, outside of them being better than people think, which I think is true. I think that can be the case. But
not all quacky feelings are the same, you know. They're not all created equal.
Okay.
There's levels to it.
Okay.
I still really like it, but it's not on the level of that Eagles game.
I will say though that while you said that most of the picks you send to me are underdogs, all of your Y2K picks have been short favorites, I believe. Because you had the Eagles were short favorite of the Vikings. The Eagles were short favorite of the Packers. I forget who your Y2K pick was in 2023. But you were now Patriots are -2.5, so they're a short favorite.
Wow, I guess that's right. No, I count the Eagle or the Cardinals against the Eagles in 2008 as a Y2K pick.
That's so long ago.
Yeah. They just weren't called Y2K picks back then.
Not yet, even though it's closer to Y2K, much closer than we are now. And like that's still like a topic, I guess. But like I feel like you ask any 20-year-old, like have you ever heard of Y2K? They're like, just give you a blank stare. Like who's that? Is that a band? Like, no.
Hey, I was watching. Don't ask me why, but I was watching Independence Day. You know, the one that was made in 97.
Yeah. Will Smith, yeah.
Yeah, it was in 96 or 97 it was made.
I saw it in the theater.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid in the 90s. But in the beginning of the movie, they make mention of the moon landing. So in the moon landing, that was 1969. Okay, you ready for this one? More time
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, more time has passed between the release of Independence Day and now than time elapsed between the moon landing and Independence Day.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
That's scary to think about, man.
I know. It was it's 1969 seems like forever ago. It was only 13 years out before I was born. I was born in 82, for those who couldn't do the math there. Like 13 years prior to 2025 is 2012, which I always, I've said that many times is like the best year of my life. Just like for so many reasons. Like and that feels like yesterday. I don't know. It was it's crazy how quickly time goes by, and really it just seems like 1969, which again feels forever ago. It doesn't feel like the 2012 doesn't feel like that too long ago. I think really if you think about a year, and just if I tell you a random year, and if it's before you were born, it may feel like so long ago. But if it's like a year in which you were alive, you're like, okay, that's not too long ago.
Right.
Like you were born, what, 86?
Yeah.
So if I tell you in 1988 this happened, you're probably like, okay, I remember 88, this sort of thing. But if I tell you hey, 1978 this happened, you'd be like, wow, that's so long ago.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like. I've always felt that way.
Yeah, do you ever tell me if you do this also? Like, do you set your threshold for how long ago something was for the year 2000? I guess, okay, let me try to clarify what I mean. Like when I think the year 2000, I think that was 10 years ago, and I'm like, oh my god, it's 25. That was a quarter century ago.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like 2000 seems like it was 15 years ago, not 25. 25, that's crazy. Independence Day is ID4. They called it ID4 for short. It's so dumb. It's almost 30 years old.
I know.
30 years old. That was a staple of our childhood. I feel like it's it's like a blockbuster summer hit, like the poster child for blockbuster summer hit in the 90s.
Oh, Will Smith had so many of those. He had Men in Black and 1, 2, 3, and he also had Wild Wild West, which I unfortunately had to see in the theater because I For some reason you have to be 17 to see a rated R movie. So I was 17. I was with my two friends. We went from the swim club to the movies. They were both 16, so they couldn't get into to see South Park, which is what we went to see. We were all huge South Park fans, so we couldn't see the South Park movie. So we had to settle for Wild Wild West. Which was not that great, unfortunately. I was old enough to see it, but I didn't want to ditch my two friends. It were kind of ridiculous. One guy was 3 months away from being 17. You can't see an R-rated movie. It's
Wow, you really took one. You really took one for the team there.
Yeah,
that's.
I don't know. What am I What am I doing? Just hey, guys, I'm gonna go see the movie by myself. See ya. That's just a dick move. You don't do that. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm more loyal than a lot of people, because I heard it's kind of blew my mind when I heard it. Rich Eisen, it does obviously NFL Network stuff. A couple years ago, he was talking about during the combine. He I don't know what he's talking about. It's one of those the side conversations they have during the drills. It's the combine is is kind of boring, but so they have to talk about some stuff, and they were talking about luggage on the airplane, having to wait for luggage. And Rich Eisen was he was talking to Daniel Jeremiah, and he was man, yeah, if you're waiting 20 minutes for luggage, he's I'm out. I'm gonna leave the airport, and I'm just gonna say see you later. And I'm that's crazy for me. I've waited for hours with friends for their luggage, in case when it's delayed sometimes. That felt so insane to me. You'd be so disloyal. I don't know. Rich Eisen's I like him as an announcer, but just hearing that, I'm wow, that's a dick move. Just
wow. Yeah, no, I'd definitely stick around and help him solve it too. Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare. I would definitely wouldn't enjoy that. I mean, nobody would. But
I get if you have a meeting or something, you absolutely have to get to, sure. But if you're just there on vacation, or just you have time, if you have time, I don't know, what are you doing otherwise that you need to leave the airport for? You just, I don't know. I just have issues abandoning someone I'm traveling with.
No, for sure. Yeah, I think that's weird too. How could you go back? What are you gonna check in your hotel or whatever and be just sitting around and oh, I wonder how they're doing?
I'm gonna get watch a movie in the hotel room, order room service.
I'm gonna watch Independence Day.
Right. That's what he was doing.
You must see TV, man.
Hey, I can't miss Independence Day. Although Patrick says I'm going to be that guy. That movie is terrible. That director has made some of the worst movies, so long, bloated, and just full of effect movies.
I know, but we love it. We love it.
It's one of those movies. It's it's not good, but it's still fun to watch. I don't know. It's a fun movie to watch for me. It's not a brilliant movie by any means, but I don't know. I have fun watching it. It's okay. I don't know. I haven't seen it forever though, so I don't know if it's held up time wise, but I don't know. I mean, you saw it recently, so
yeah. What I think is kind of weird is how at the end Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum are back on Earth, and he's holding the kid, and he's "Didn't I promise you fireworks?" And they take kind of a lighthearted, approach to it. It's meanwhile 3/4 of the earth has just been wiped out.
Right.
I mean, I guess maybe it's just a coping mechanism. I guess I'm being unfair here.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's still fine. It's not as bad as Space Jam 2 or anything like that. But
oh man, I have not watched that. I have no intention of watching that. Unless you tell me it's the worst movie ever, then I'll watch it for Jerks of the Week or something, like I did for Twilight. That was absolutely atrocious. I can't believe how bad that was.
Yeah, I've seen enough reviews on Space Jam 2 that I get the gist, and I just do not want to see it.
Did you ever see Twilight?
No. What'd you think of that?
I wrote a whole Jerks of the Week entry on it. They have vampire baseball. So they have to play vampire. So vampires are so good at baseball because they hit the ball far for some reason. And when they hit the ball far, there's a huge sound. So the only time they can play vampire baseball is when there's a thunderstorm, because then it gets masked by the thunder. People think it's thunder when they hit the balls that far. That was like a 20-minute segment of that movie. That's how bad it was. I have so many.
I don't know if I can get through that. Hey,
I
go ahead.
no, I was to say like if I was watching it and I wasn't writing it for Jerks of the Week, I would have quit like 20 minutes in. The fact that the guy is a vampire, he's like 180 years old or something, like, and he goes to high school. Like, why are you going to high school at 180 years old? Like, what are you learning? And like, he's hooking up with like this
of all the places you could be, yeah.
right. Like, just say if a truancy officer stops you, just say you're 19 and you're in college. Like you don't. Like, why would you keep going to high school? Like, what are you doing? And he meets the girl, obviously, the Kristen Stewart girl. She's like 17 in the show, or maybe 18, or I don't know, but she's definitely in high school. This guy's like 180 years old. He's macking on a 17-year-old girl. Like, that's like ridiculous. Like, there's so many dumb things in this movie, man. I wrote them all down in Jerks of the Week. It was one of my favorite entries I've ever written because it was so fun, so easy to make.
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware of Twilight's prowess and where it stands in media, but its place in media. But I don't know. I just never had an interest. I'm not anti it, but after hearing that, now I feel like I want to watch it.
You should watch it once to see how bad it is. At least get to the the vampire baseball part. Like, the
vampire baseball.
It's so stupid.
Hey, I've got a real recommendation for you. Have you ever seen 1 Hour Photo with Robin Williams?
Yeah. The one where he's the creepy guy at the
photo center.
Yeah, the photo center, and like he like creates pictures and stuff like that. Yeah, like
I used to have that on DVD.
Oh yeah, I remember DVDs.
Yeah, that came out like I remember watching it around like the holiday season 2003. Geez, that movie's over 20 years old. That's a good one.
I think we were both in college, or maybe you were in still high school, but I was definitely in college when I watched that movie.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, everyone watching 1 Hour Photo with Robin Williams, it's him in like a very like serious, creepy role. It's I think it's one of his finest performances.
Yeah,
I thought that was I haven't watched it in a while, but I was thinking of it recently. Dang it! Yeah, I feel like I gotta recommend something to you. For you to watch.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I feel like you've recommended stuff to me.
It's hard because I know you don't like watching documentaries.
No, no, I don't.
I don't know why. Why don't you just watch the Michael Jordan documentary? So I've seen it 100 times. It's so much fun. We can talk about it.
My question to you is why have you seen it 100 times when there's so many good like movies and TV shows out there that like you're missing out on by watching it 100 times?
Yeah, but
you're exaggerating. But like it's still.
I'm not actually.
You have a counter on your wall. You're like,
no, 101. I probably have watched it that many times. I don't know. You know how I do things on repeat, but
sure,
it is a really good documentary. I'm just surprised you don't like the sports documentaries. Like, it's like, don't you want to like watch it and then we can talk about it or something?
But we could talk about Jordan. We don't need to talk about the documentary. I've seen Michael Jordan play.
Yeah, but don't you want to like remember like all the coolest moments and stuff?
But I already remember the coolest moments.
but now this time we get to put them in a format that like maybe you haven't like seen before.
I've seen them live. I don't know how you can get them live. If you're talking like a documentary on like Johnny Unitas, for example, like obviously a way too young to see him play, I can understand that. But like I've seen Jordan. I went to one of his games. Like I feel like I don't need to watch a documentary on Jordan because I've seen this play a lot.
You're gonna sooner watch a documentary of Johnny Unitas?
Yeah, because I've never seen him play, and like I've seen highlights, obviously, but I've never seen like a live game like with him. It's just impossible for me. I'm 42.
Right, but I mean, doesn't it like bring you any nostalgia? Like it's so much fun to watch that. It makes me like. Geez, like I was like ages 10 to 13 and, in the late 90s in like arguably like the greatest era of NBA basketball, it's like, NBA on NBC.
That's like coming back. So
yeah, when you heard that music, like you knew like Michael Jordan, the Bulls were about to like lay it down on some team. Mm-hmm. And it was just, go ahead.
No, I was supposed to say, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like that was an iconic like song, but it's coming back, so we can our member berries will be satisfied.
Yeah, but wouldn't that bring you nostalgia to get to relive that? That was like such like a cool like memorable time in sports for me. to like be able to like witness Michael Jordan. Like
personally, I would rather experience new things. Like I'd rather watch something I haven't seen before. I like it has like for me to watch something new, sorry, it's just for me to rewatch something I've seen before. It would have to be for a purpose. Like if I were to like Lost is is my favorite show of all time. The only times I've rewatched Lost were either to write it on the site because I used to write it like for Jerks of the Week. I used to like do theories and stuff like that. So I'd want to like just make sure I got all my facts correct. Or if I watch it with someone else for the first time, like my wife watched Lost. She went all the way through, which is I was saying a lot because my wife like quits shows like halfway through all the time. She watched it all the way through, and I watched with her just to like get her take on it. Like I was like, hey, what do you think's in that hatch? Have you seen Lost, by the way?
No, I haven't.
See, like, why are you watching Jordan documentaries? You can watch Lost, like the best show ever, the best show like ever made. And like, see, I'm not no spoilers, but like they discover very early in the show that there's a hatch in the ground on this deserted island, and they try to open it, they can't open it, it's locked, and they have no idea what's in it. And like I remember watching it live when it came out in 2004, and just like speculating with people. And I remember one time I was driving home with a couple of friends, like we're carpooling home to Philly. And like for 3 hours, we just talked about Lost, and like we were all theorizing what was in that hatch. And like it's different now because you could just like binge it and just watch like season 1 in like 3 days. But this is like every week for like 9 months, obviously skipping holidays and such. But like and like they eventually answer it. But like the entire season 1, the entire year of 04, 05, like that's what people are asking. Like, what's in that hatch? Like what could be down there? Is there someone down there? Like are there's just supplies down there? Like some people, like one of my friends, like I think it's an alien. It was so cool to just theorize about that kind of stuff. So like that's why like rewatching it, because like I got to ask my wife, I'm like, what do you think's in that hatch? And like she's like, just tell me. She hates non-spoilers. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna tell you. You gotta tell me what's in the hatch. So I don't know. It's like it's so cool. There's so many like mysteries to that show too. Like just to to wonder about. So it's one of the reasons why I love that show so much.
I get into, because I've watched that documentary so many times, it kind of becomes like an old friend. It's like something you're comfortable around. I like to fall asleep to it. I watched it a lot of times. What's scary? Like sometimes I think I definitely watched that documentary more times than people that worked on the movie. I'm 100% certain of that. I'm 100% certain of that.
So why don't you watch other like shows and movies instead?
I don't know. I like it. It's just I don't know. There's something comforting about it. I actually haven't. I watched it a little bit recently, but that was the first time in like a month.
I don't know. I think you have to branch out, man.
Yeah, no, I've been doing a pretty good job. I've been watching some new crime documentaries. They had a documentary about it's a very gripping documentary about the Oklahoma City bombing on Netflix, because that was 30 years. That was 1995. I was still pretty young. I remember when that happened, and I remember hearing about but I was still like a kid, like I didn't really have a complete grasp of what was going on. Mm-hmm. And but like I remember what happened, and like I remember them mentioning Timothy McVeigh. But the documentary, if you like documentaries, it was very gripping. It was a well-made documentary on that Oklahoma City bombing. So I recommend it if you like that sort of thing.
Patrick says he's reading the audiobook about the OKC bombing.
Yeah,
was it 95? So it's 13 or 12. So
if you like that sort of thing, very gripping, like I said.
Yeah, O.J. Simpson documentary. Any?
They have another one on. I feel like there's always an O.J. Simpson documentary on them. Yeah, on there somewhere, but I haven't seen that new one actually.
So 1777 memorabilia, Larry Sports Talk is saying, same here. There's some clips I always go to: Casino, the Count Room, and Goodfellas, the restaurant scene. Yeah, look, I will watch some clips like once in a while, like if it's like a minute or two, just like I'll think about it and I'll be like, man, that was such a cool scene. There are so many good scenes in Lost to watch. And like Battlestar Galactica. I'm sure you haven't watched that either. Am I correct?
You're correct, but I just
it's another show you can watch. Like there's one scene where Commander Adama like realizes he has to reunite the fleet, and they play this epic music. And you're a music guy, like this is like one of the best soundtracks like I've ever heard on any TV show. When he's going somewhere and he just stops and he just like stares off in the distance, and like they start playing this amazing music, and he like turns around, goes back to the bridge, and they're all confused, like, sir, he's like, so we're going back. We have to reunite our family, and like everyone's like so happy that like because they don't have to go to war. They're just going to try to avoid war. It's been that is one of my favorite scenes of all time, like in any TV show. That was such a good show too. That was such an amazing show. I wish I'd never watched it, so I could watch it again. Same with Lost.
But wait, hold on. But if you never watched it before, what if you never watched it at all? Then there's a chance if you wish you had never seen it, there's a chance you would never see it at all.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole like grandfather paradox, I suppose. You know.
Yeah. So you would go. You would wish you never saw it on condition that you would know to watch it again. I guess that's the implication.
Yeah, but like, well, The Lost is so popular that I'd probably check it out anyway, and I'm into like. Sort like semi sci-fi stuff, like with like mysteries and like crash landing on an island. I don't know. I've seen multiple shows like that. I think TBS did a mock Lost kind of show. I forget what it was called, but it's the same thing. They like crash landed on some island, but they made a joke about everything, and they like. It got ridiculous, but I thought it was so funny that there's a guy like controlling everything on the island. I wish I remember what it was called, but like he thought that this one guy was like the smartest guy because like he spoke in like a British accent and he seemed like the smartest guy, and like he like kidnaps him, and his like whole goal is to like play chess against him just because he needs a challenge. And so the one guy he thinks is smart, he's like, yeah, I know how to play chess. And the guy in charge he's like it's chess, right? He's like, no, it's chest. And like they start arguing about like whether it's chess. And the guy's like, oh my god, this guy's an idiot. Like I just like did everything to like capture him for nothing. That was a funny show. I don't know. I wish I remember what it's called. But it was so good. But it was a complete mockery of Lost, which is pretty funny.
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe I'll have to check out. Maybe I'll have to check out Lost.
Wrecked. There we go. Thanks, Kevin. Wrecked. That was a good show. Watch Lost and then watch Wrecked. Wrecked is so good. Okay. Yeah.
All right. What else we got here? What we got? Some other week 1 games you like?
Yeah. Let's finish some comments here and then we'll get.
Oh yeah. Let's keep ripping it.
Okay. Let's see. Well, Slew at the beginning said I got girls softball on and the hockey game is going on. Unfortunately, Dallas won. Took out a small hedge on when it in Dallas and Carolina. So I'm not going to win nearly as much. I'm going to be in the red even if I win these two. But either of these two. But that's a shame. Anyway. Yeah. Let's see here. To scroll down a little bit. So Larry Sports Talk says that's why it's important to keep working out, man. It's the fountain of youth. He's talking about like the time lapses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Don't think about that post that long ago. John Sanders said we're like 10 years after the future of Back to the Future 2.
Seriously,
that's so crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. Larry says, I remember going to watch Blow with Johnny Depp and Penelope Cruz using a fake
nice.
ID. Yeah. Nice, yeah. I didn't have a fake ID. I never did. I felt like, some of my friends got fake IDs to go to bars at like 19 to 20. I never did. Just because like I wanted my first bar experience to be like fun, like legit, like because if I went to the bars before 21, like going to the bars after 21 just wouldn't feel special to me. I don't know. Like maybe I was kind of like being stubborn in that sense, but I don't know. That's how I always felt. I was like, yeah. When I turn 21, I want to go to bars just because like now I've earned it. Whereas like it didn't feel like you earned it before, and like this, like I don't know. I never had a fake ID to see a movie. Although I wish my friends did that day because I think seeing South Park would have been much better than Wild Wild West, which was so bad. so bad. I just have a disdain for that movie just because I could have seen South Park instead. Back says I saw Sinners yesterday. I really dug it. Almost like a modern day From Dawn Till Dusk. That was a great movie. Great performances and very thought provoking. Totally worth seeing in the theaters. Interesting. Sinners. Not familiar with that, but I'll check it out. Larry says I wouldn't watch Space Jam 2 for $1,000. I mean, that's like $500 an hour. I don't know. I just like yeah. I think I would watch it for $1,000. Maybe not like 50, but I'd watch it for like $1,000.
Yeah, I think I'd watch it for like $3K.
Yeah, $3K.
I'd definitely do it for $3K. I mean, I don't know if I'd do it for $100 though. No, I don't know. It depends.
I do it for $100. I do it for $100.
We should just add that to part of the show. Like I'll just like pay you to do.
See, like, it would depend what the stipulation is. Like if I could watch it and work at the same time, like that's a no-brainer. But if I had to like just sit down, I couldn't look at my phone. I just had to watch it. Just like couldn't divert my eyes from the TV. Then that might I don't know. I might not do it for $100. But like if I could like have it on while working for $100, that's easy. Yeah, no questions asked.
Yeah.
Yes, it's different. Cam Brink is so fine. I just had to Google her. So
from the LA Sparks. Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, well, so she's the one in that commercial where a bunch of guys are dribbling the ball and like there's that one girl. So I never knew who that was, but I guess that's sure.
Her. Yeah, I mean, I hope she does well. I believe she got hurt last year. She was a rookie last year, and the Sparks weren't very good. Yeah, but I mean, before we get you to watch anything else, we should get you to watch one of the WNBA games. I think the season started. I actually haven't been keeping up.
It did that Paige Bucher's girl, who's she's let's just say retarded, as not beat around the bush. She's I heard she had a bad debut. Where she like shot 3 of 9 or something. So she's attractive, but very stupid. But yeah, that's the only thing I heard of with the WNBA.
You just leave the women's basketball handicapping to me. I'll tell you what to take when the day is right.
I'm not opposed to making money on it, but I'm not going to watch that crap. I'd rather watch Space Jam 2, honestly.
No, you'll rue the day that you make that decision. Come on, man. Just give me a chance. You got to trust me.
But like the cartoon characters in Space Jam 2 are better basketball players than WNBA players.
Okay. You'll watch a replay of a game. I'll find one that's good. I watched some games last season. I was like, damn, like this is a really good game.
So you're telling me that you would rather watch WNBA over like Bugs Bunny and Tweety Bird playing basketball?
100%. 100%.
No. See, Bugs Bunny's better than anyone in the WNBA. That's the problem there. I want you to try to see it my way. Like it's a different kind of entertainment. Like it's fun to watch. It's like the nails in the chalkboard type entertainment.
No, but there are some games that are really good too, man.
Watching grass.
What if I send you a tape? I'll mail you a VHS tape of a game that like is really good, and then you watch that.
Can you send me VCR too? and the appropriate chords?
Do you think you could? I mean, I guess you could probably buy a VCR on Amazon, huh?
I'm sure you could.
You know what? I think I'm just ready to go back to the VHS tapes or the DVD players. I'm being very serious about this because I find like I watch the same things all the time. It's like you have all these streaming services and there's freaking nothing to watch. Does anybody else feel that way? Do you feel that way?
There's so many things to watch. I'm so behind on so many shows. Like there's so many shows I want to watch, and I can't watch because my wife is behind. My wife gave me a lot of crap for watching Severance season 2, by the way, because she found out I talked about it on the show a couple weeks ago. She was not happy about that, but I'm waiting because we just finished Squid Game season 2, and I just finished. It was like 2 weeks ago. Or like I guess a week and a half ago. Like we still have to watch We still have to watch the new season of Black Mirror. We still have to watch the final season of Cobra Kai. There's a couple other shows too. I can't even remember them off the top of my head, but yeah, I mean, Severance season 2. I mean that was a great show. I mean, I know you watched that one. I mean, there's just so many good shows out there. Like, I don't know, and I feel like you can find some good diamonds in the rough. Like, I feel like all the time, like people, like my friend Omnifero on. I mean, you know who he is. I just don't want to say his name. But like he recommended like 4 or 5 shows, like while he was on, and I'm like, oh, I've not seen any of these, so I wouldn't mind watching them. But yeah, like I don't know. I feel like there's a lot to watch.
Well, what should we watch this off season then?
You should watch Lost or finish Game of Thrones. Or by finish Game of Thrones, I mean the end of season 6. Unless you want to torture yourself, like watching WWE.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll try Lost.
You really don't want to finish Game of Thrones?
It's been so long since I've seen it. I guess I could get caught up.
Yeah, I mean, you could just watch Lost, but it is one of those shows made back in the day. So there were like 23 episodes per season. So it's like, and each episode is 50 minutes. So it's like it's not the full 23 hours, but you know it does take a while. Whereas like Game of Thrones was 10 episodes, an hour each. So it was a lot faster to get through. I feel like it would take you a while to get through Lost.
Oh, wow, okay. How many seasons did you say it was?
6. So the first 3 seasons were 23 episodes each, and I believe the final 3 seasons were 16 episodes each. So it was
an hour a piece.
About 50 minutes a piece. Yeah.
Oh, nice use of a piece. Yeah, I mean that's true. That's a long way. That's a long way for me to go.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like Game of Thrones would be faster. I don't know. I feel like Game of Thrones. I mean, I like it, but it's hard for me to follow what's going on sometimes. I take notes during the show. I try my best. I have really enjoyed it though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're in one of the best seasons, season 4. Like, it's, seasons 3 and 4 considered the best, I think. Mm-hmm. Then like it gets a little worse. Season 5, season 6 gets a little worse, but there's so many good episodes in season 6, and then season 7 just falls apart. Actually, Kenny, who's on with me on Wednesday, he sent me a video of like how Game of Thrones fell apart, and like most of it centered on season 7 and 8, and then the in the description there was like everything wrong with season 7, everything wrong with season 8, and I watched both, and I just got so mad. I was so angry, like just watching them, because it was so clear that the writers stopped caring. They just let things go, and like didn't think about it. Like I don't know. I mentioned this, but like the one character, she there's like a major war happens, lots of people die. She somehow survives, and she finds this white horse. She gets on a white horse and sails out of the town where this huge battle happened. This is the penultimate season of the series, penultimate episode of the series. So she just wanders off, and like I remember thinking at the time, and I remember having Kenny like on the show because we used to do Lost podcasts. I was like, I think, because like I was like the white horse, I believe it is like one of the one of the horses, like the apocalypse. So I was like, I can't remember which one it was. It was like death or something. I can't remember. But like I was like, yeah, that represents death or something. And like she's riding off. I was like, I don't think we're ever going to see her again. It's like there's really no reason for her to come back. And then like in the next episode, she's there. She's in that town. And like the white horse, they don't address it at all. Like you don't see it. Like she's just there. Like even though she left in the previous episode, like it just like that sort of like lazy writing is what you saw in season 7 and 8. It got so bad, and like the writing did get sloppy in seasons 5 and 6. But like there were just so many good, iconic moments, and like there was still like decent writing, but like they just screw it up a lot starting season 5. But you didn't really notice it until season 7. So that's when like characters started to like teleporting. It was so absurd. There's one scene in season 7 where one of the characters he basically he has to avoid dragon fire, and like he's like coated in this super heavy armor, and he gets thrown into this lake. And like you see him, the final scene of that episode, he's sinking down into the bottom of the lake. And I used to have watch parties, and we're like, okay, he's dead. He's got to be dead. Like that armor is going to make him sink. There's no way he can get out of it in time. Like maybe he gets out of it, but like still, like there's 100,000 soldiers like who are going to capture him, even if he gets out of the lake. So in the next episode, he comes out of the lake with his armor on, and he goes back. He freely goes back to where he was from. No one even like tries to tries to like look for him or anything like that. He doesn't get captured at all, and he makes it back. And then some of the characters talk about this guy as if he's still alive. Like they just like completely forgot. Like I would assume that he died. Like if I were the characters and we're looking for him, like that's just how bad the show got. So
wow.
It was so bad. Season 7 and 8. That's I keep telling you like not to watch it. And I know you're like I want to see how bad it is, and you'll just be so disappointed. So I would just stop at season 6. The very end, the final 2 episodes of season 6 are great. So yeah, that is like the true end of Game of Thrones.
You know, it made me think of you're saying like you assumed he was dead. You remember Face Off with Travolta and Cage?
Yeah, I saw that a long time ago.
Oh,
I'm not going to remember any minute detail about that.
Oh, dang it. That's one of my favorite movies. I love when they've already traded faces. And they're like, sir, like the Travolta who's, supposed to be, he's actually Castor Troy. Like, like Castor Troy is dead. They're like, show me his body. He's like, it hasn't been recovered yet. He's like, it hasn't been recovered yet. I love that part. Travolta freaks out. They said that Travolta and Cage didn't like each other in real life, so when they did the face off, like, they tried to do like the corniest impression of one another.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's a really that's a classic. I mean, if you can get past the premise, like Face Off is a classic. I could watch that one again and again.
Interesting. Yeah, I saw it once when it came out, and I haven't seen it since. Didn't like strike me as a great movie. I don't know. It was fun to watch, but it wasn't a movie where I watched it. I'm like, oh man, I have to watch it again. I don't know. Never felt that way about it. Larry says The Last Dance, Jordan Bull is the best sports documentary ever, and that is made for the fans. I'm sure it's good. I've seen it, like for any, my son who's 3, if he grows up and becomes a sports fan, maybe he should watch it because it's the same thing with me, Unitas, it's him and Jordan, like he hasn't seen him. So like, I feel like that's like made for him, we need a documentary on the business side of sports. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm sure there's some out there. I don't know. Just as I watched The Last Dance, but I have no desire to rewatch it. So
not me.
Yeah.
Plenty of desire.
Some of the scenes are worth rewatching, but it's like the clips, the Scott Burrell clips are goated. And then the gambling scene too. Let's see. I got Bo Nix Silver Prism.
Oh, nice. We love Bo Nix on the show.
That's right. Okay, so we go down. Is that Patrick says the ATF being told on pagers not to go to work that day, and then John Doe 2 never existed as super sketch. Yeah, I mean that's
I gotta watch that one again.
No surprise. Russell Crowe Gladiator speech. Yeah, exactly. That's a good one. Patrick says not to mention suspected John Doe 2 died in prison of suicide. Probable John Doe 2 died of suicide, and then cellmate of John Doe 2, John Doe, who feared for life, died of suicide.
I gotta rewatch it now.
Very very convenient. The business card scene from American Psycho is great. The speech, Russian roulette in Deer Hunter. And then okay to be scarred and brain.
To watch Space Jam 2. Wow.
Yeah. Would you watch it for 1 unit bonus bet? That's the question. Because we turn our bonus bets into potential big money. Like, I have like $600 something on bonus bets, all at like 80 to 1 or 70 to 1 on these exactas. So hopefully one hit. Draymond Green would kick Bugs Bunny in the nuts. Unfortunately, that's true. You need to start working out, man. Forget about the streaming.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Well, I used to work out all the time. I used to be on the swim team, like back in the day. We used to have 5 a.m. Swim practices, and then lift weights, and then more swimming. Like I was so jacked, like when I was in my 20s. But now I have 2 kids, and that means I go to the gym once. 2 kids under 4. I go to the gym once if I'm lucky. So that's it's tough to work out now. I do have weights here. They're my wife's weights, unfortunately. Like the heaviest weight she has are 25 pounds. So that's like the most I can do for benching, just because like I don't have anything heavier. So I do I do like 25 on each hand. I do it like, let's say like 113, 114 times. Just like I don't like my elbows start hurting. Just from like repetition for that.
Did you say 113 or 114 times?
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember exactly what my max is.
That's an oddly specific
Well, I kept track of like the most I could do.
Oh, okay. So every time you just try to do as many as you can, and that's
Yeah.
okay. Oh, okay. I got you.
So
Wow,
if you do 50 pounds 113 times, that equates to 220 pounds. There's actually a formula you could do for those who don't, it's 0.03 times the reps, which would be 113. And then that comes up to 3.39. And then you add 1. So it goes to 4.39. And then you multiply by the weight, which is 50 in this case. That would be 219.5 pounds. I learned that from my coach in high school, our football swim coach, because we had Philadelphia public school, so we couldn't have our coaches had to do two things. So he had that formula on his wall. So like because he always wanted people to like not max out once, just like 12 reps, 15 reps, whatever you could do, especially like the swimmers because you needed more stamina. So he had this formula. So back in the day, I could lift like 250 plus, like 219.5 now for someone who's 42 and just barely works out. I think it's okay. I don't know. It's definitely more than I weigh. So I feel like as long as you can bench more than you weigh, you're okay. My top three shows. We haven't gotten the follow up to that. I'm surprised Penguin on HBO didn't get more mainstream pop. I wanted to watch that. I forgot to watch it. I did want to watch it though. That's another one. That's a good modern show. I'll have to check that out. Thanks, Larry. I really want to check that out. I just forgot about it, but I always wanted to watch it. John says, "Oh, once they got far past the books, it fell apart." Yeah, exactly. Like the writers of the show could always lean on the books, but like once they got past the books, they had to make up their own stuff, and like we got to see how bad the writing was. So it really did fall apart. My top three movies. Drum roll, please.
Yeah.
Is that an optical illusion over Quacky's left shoulder?
Yeah, it is. No, I'm visiting my dad this weekend, so I'm in a different place than usual. It's just a mirror,
Okay.
but it does. I do see what you're saying. It's like the blue and the white lines there.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like one of those magic eye things, Slu.
Okay.
Let me know if you can see anything.
Okay. All right. Well, we're all caught up in the comments, so let's. We don't have to talk about every game. So I did that with Andy on Thursday. But if you want to mention some things you like, Eagles -6.5 to kick off the season. Kenny thought this would be like 4.5. I thought it'd be 7. So I was a little closer, but I don't know if you had a lean on the opening game. But any thoughts there?
I don't have an interest in that. Eagles, but it seems way too easy to me. Give me the Superchargers in the next game, though.
Okay.
Superchargers money line.
So, it says I'm about to fire some NFL futures as the Chiefs again. I think, the odds on the Chiefs aren't great. Although if you do exactas, you would make out better. And like we had Andy on Thursday, we talked about exactas, like the 3x3 formula for exactas, where you pick 3 teams you love in the NFC and 3 teams you love in the AFC, and you bet all the exactas. Like you can get great payouts. Like Andy, he had, I believe he had 90-1 on Chiefs over Eagles and 100-1 on Eagles over Chiefs. And like I had him on before the Super Bowl, and I'm like, "Who are you betting?" He's like, "I'm not. I'm going to win money no matter what." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I have 90-1 in Chiefs over Eagles, 100-1 Eagles over Chiefs." I'm like, how did you do that? And so he told me the 3x3 formula, which I've been doing, but I added a twist to it where we bet our no sweat bet tokens on it. So I have personally, I have like I said before, I'm almost $700 in no sweat bets on exactas, which could pay out like 5 figures. And I have not bet a single dime on them. So it's pretty great, I think. So I'm loving it. So unless like some team comes out of the blue and like we get crushed, but usually it doesn't happen. Usually it's like one of 3 teams or maybe 4. Like I have a 3x4 in the NFC. Like I love 4 teams in the NFC. I just can't get rid of one of the teams. So Andy, and I asked Andy on Thursday, I'm like, can I have your permission to go 3x4? It was like, is that good? Is that okay? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. So I was happy about that. Philly's beaten Dallas 7 times in a row. Philly tends to destroy Dallas at home. I would lean toward Philly. You like the Chargers on Friday in the NFL on Ice game in Brazil.
That's true. Keep that in mind.
I saw that line, and so Kenny and I guessed the lines on Wednesday before we saw them. I saw that, and I was like, Chiefs. I thought she would be Chiefs minus 4.5. I think, or either one of us said Chiefs minus 4.5, and the other said the Chiefs minus 5.5. I can't remember who said what, but like we were both way off on that line, and it's only 2.5. That seems to be begging people to take the Chiefs. Is that what your
kind of, yeah. And also, I don't know. I'm just low on them. I was low on them last year. I mean, I think I don't know. They're not gonna. I think they're gonna fall below expectations this year. I don't know. I think that a team like the Chargers are. I don't know. The line looks like it's really inviting you to take the Chiefs. I think the Chargers win this game.
I would push back with two things. One, the Chiefs I think are going to be better this year. They're going to have a better receiving core. They have left tackles now. Like it's this. I think this is going to be a better team. And the second thing, and this is the main thing for me, is that you have Andy Reid with lots of time to prepare. That has usually done very well. And like we're getting a low line here. Like if you handicap this fairly, like the line, it should be 4.5 or 5.5, something like that. At least over 3. It's only 2.5. This line is way short. I'm going to be on the Chiefs. I know this almost looks like a public trap, but I actually think this is a sharp trap. The sports books are more afraid of the sharps than the public. Like there's a misconception that the sports books will make a bad line to trap the public, and that's usually not true. Sometimes sure, but usually not true. Like the sports books are more afraid of the sharps because they bet way more money than the public. And I think they were to make this 3.5. If they were to make this 3.5, like the sharps would be all over the Chargers, but like they made it 2.5, and I still think that like the sharp side will be the Chargers, just because the Chiefs like barely covered last year and they lost the Super Bowl, blah blah blah. I think this is the sportsbooks being like, hey sharps, like we know you like the Chargers, here's a bad line, and in exchange for that you have a much better line on the Chiefs. So I wouldn't be afraid of like the public here. Like I think the public is going to be correct here personally, but I could be wrong. Obviously, I don't know. But Andy Reid with 5 months to prepare. What is it? 4 months to prepare for a game. I think it's a no brainer, honestly. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna one by one again.
I'll counter that with the last couple seasons. That really hasn't been the case. They lost to the Lions on opening night, and they were half a foot away with likely from losing to the Ravens there. Maybe if they go for 2 and make it. So I'll counter that with they kind of. I mean, they haven't quite looked like themselves, perhaps.
Well, I'll counter that by saying in the Lions game. First of all, the Lions were a really good team that we thought were underrated, and the Chiefs didn't have Chris Jones or Travis Kelce in his prime in that game. So the Chiefs were shorthanded in that Baltimore game. Yeah, I mean likely almost won, but the Chiefs were up by double digits in the fourth quarter, and the Ravens had to come back. By the way, what's the last time we're talking about the Chiefs being maybe worse than people think. When was the last time the Chiefs beat when's the last time the Chargers beat the Chiefs?
2022, they covered both games, I think.
Yeah, sure, but they didn't win. When's the last time they won outright against the Chiefs?
21.
Yeah, 2021 week 3. It's 30-24. That's the game that went to overtime. So I don't know. The Chiefs have beaten this team, 19-17, 17-10, 13-12, 31-17, 30-27, 27-24, 34-28. So they wouldn't have covered the spread twice in that span. But yeah, I don't know. The Chiefs have owned the Chargers, so. Like, I don't know why things would be different now. I mean, obviously the Chargers have better coaching. Like, if you want to argue against that, I could see that argument. But like, Andy Reid is the best coach in the NFL, and he has time to prepare. Like, there are 3 coaches, at least 3. I know at the top of my head that I love betting week 1. And it's really just like a no-brainer. If you see him week 1, you just bet them. Like, it's the Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Rams with Andy Reid, John Harbaugh, and Sean McVay. Now, I think that that Matt LaFleur could be in that category. He's had an exceptional week one history. Now, he didn't cover last year, but the Packers, they played much better against the Eagles in week 1 than they did in the playoffs. So I think they're another team to look for. Maybe Matt LaFleur eventually is recognized as such, but definitely Reid, McVay, and John Harbaugh. Their records in week 1 are just spectacular. So I will be looking to bet them, all 3.
Well, history is about to change.
I don't know. I don't know.
I have a weird feeling on this one, man. I like the Superchargers.
Yeah.
As things stand now.
So here's the thing. Bills killed the Rams opening weekend. Yeah, they did. Usually, so the corollary to this thing is when these teams have to battle teams that are better than them or equal to them, they don't have that edge. And in that year, the Rams were clearly not as good as the Bills. So that didn't really apply. But here, I think that we can safely say the Chiefs are better than the Chargers. I don't know, maybe not, but the Charger defense looks pretty bad. I just did their season preview. And I just have to simulate their games to get their record. That's the only thing I have left to do. But I went through the defense. The defense kind of sucks. Their linebackers are pretty mid. Their defensive line might be the worst defensive line in the NFL. The edge rushers lost Joey Bosa. Not that Bosa was great last year, but still, they lost depth there. They only had one guy with more than 7 sacks last year. Their secondary looks pretty awful. Outside of Derwin James, they really don't have anyone in the secondary. So the Chiefs, I feel like the Chiefs are going to be able to score all over them. Whereas the Chiefs still have a pretty decent defense. I do like the Chargers' offensive line. Looks great. Should be able to run the ball. They lab McConkey, but outside of McConkey, they don't really have a proven receiver either. So this Chargers team has some flaws. I'm not really sold on them. They can, I think they could win 10 games probably, but just on the back of Herbert and the offensive line and McConkey and the running game. But I think this team's so underwhelming. I don't see it with them. I really don't. I get where you're coming from, but this being a shady line. But I think this is just so the Sharps don't hammer the Chargers, and the Sharps have to take a bad number.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you don't believe me about the Sharps,
ask the dishes.
That's what
he said. If you don't believe me, I said, ask the dishes. We can sing. We can.
If you look at the Twitter history of Jeffrey Benson, that's at Jeffrey Benson 12. He's the director of Circa Sports. So he had this long thread about how he doesn't care at all what the public bets at Circa. It's all about making sure the Sharps don't beat them because the Sharps wager way more money than the public. He's I don't care about Joe Schmo wagering $50 when someone comes in with a $50,000 bet on one side and then someone else does it and someone else does it and someone else does it. That's how they get killed. So they have to worry about the Sharps more than the public. And I think that the Sharp, I feel the Sharps, I could be wrong, but I think the Sharps are going to be all over the Chargers this year, or at least to start the year, just because of Jim Harbaugh in year 2. And the offensive line being good. But like I said, the defense looks so bad to me. I just don't know how they're going to stop anyone. They don't have the worst defense in the NFL. The Bengals do, and the Panthers probably are still down there. I think the Chargers probably finished 28th in defense to 29th, just based on what they have on their roster.
Well, we'll see if I have a different feeling once the date draws nearer.
Quacky agrees with Quacky. I'm on the Chargers. Yeah. Jimmy's second year at the helm has been really good everywhere he's gone. Yeah, no doubt about that. But I still trust the Chiefs and Mahomes. Mahomes, by the way, in FU mode after being embarrassed in the Super Bowl. He's going to be thinking about that. Forget Andy Reid with time to prepare. Mahomes is going to be pissed about hearing how bad he was in the Super Bowl. That's going to be weighing on him. I love backing elite quarterbacks coming off losses. And yes, this is a different season, but Mahomes with something to prove is something else. This guy has, despite being the best quarterback in the NFL, he always has a big chip on his shoulder. Like he's going to be out to prove the doubters wrong.
Give me the Superchargers and the Washington Commanders in a teaser.
That I don't mind. Although,
you don't mind.
Well, let me.
I'm just joking.
I think Chargers in the teaser are fine, given that the Chiefs didn't cover large numbers last year. But let me tell you this before you bet the Redskins. The Redskins, they play week 2 on a Thursday night against the Packers. That's I don't know if they're going to be quite focused in this game against the Giants. Just saying, I could see this being like. I remember I made this example with Andy. Remember Steelers at Bills a few years ago, week 1. Bills are like -6.5. The Steelers went into Buffalo and beat them. Or another game, it was it was it Bengals the Steelers? I think it was Bengals the Steelers, and like the Bengals won in Pittsburgh. I might be misremembering what opponent that was, but So like these teams in week 1 don't always play their best. And Washington is, as a large favorite in the divisional game with another game coming up in 4 days, just seems like trouble. I don't know. I think, by the way, I think I had that Steelers-Bengals game reversed. I think the Steelers were the dogs against the Bengals, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the Steelers were +7 at Cincinnati. Sorry, and they won. But by the way, Tomlin, another great week 1 coach. Sorry, I forgot about him. Yeah. The Tomlin went into Cincinnati, won as a 10-point dog. I think this could be a little similar here. The Giants are bad, but they're not that bad. They're not one of the worst teams in the NFL. I think they're probably like the 6th worst team in the NFL, maybe. So they can be competitive. They can stay within 7. Last year everyone had Cincinnati in their survivor pools. Everyone. They got knocked out. I think this is a similar sort of situation. Remember, Cincinnati had the Chiefs coming up. Like the Redskins have a game Thursday night, and like they swept the Giants last year. And so I think they might be taking this game for granted, even though it is a season opener. As much as I love the Redskins, like I do think this is a bad game for them. It's a bad situational game, so I will pass on it. Not that I want to bet the Giants. I think
well, this is what I think about this game. If you like the Giants, I think I like the Giants first half. I think I like the Giants first half. If you like the Giants, I would sooner do that. But I just have a hard time. I mean, the Washington Commanders -1 against the Giants. I mean, they basically just have to win. I guess could worry about a push, but I mean, I don't know. I think that's pretty likely. Yeah, I mean, anything could happen. But and your points are noted. But what were you going to say?
Well, how many people just thought, the Bengals just had to win that last year against the crappy Patriots who ended up winning 4 games. All they had to do was win, and they lost. Was it 16-13? I would not put this in the teaser. Chargers I'm okay with, but
here's what you do: you put the Superchargers and then the Commanders in the teaser, and then you do a survivor pool and you take the Giants. And either way, you're
no.
No.
Come on, man. I know you're joking, but like someone's gonna be listening to this.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't listen
to
me. I'll let you know when I'm being serious. I apologize, everybody.
you can find better options in the week 1.
Imagine they won though.
Well, it doesn't. You could just take another team. You don't like. It's not like that's the only game on the slate. If that were the case, then there would be some merit to taking the Giants. But like, there are 30 other options on the slate. So I wouldn't take the biggest underdog in Survivor. Just saying.
No.
I wouldn't even take an underdog in Survivor. Just take the biggest underdog. Imagine just taking the biggest underdog every single week and you keep winning. Like that would be like historical run.
Oh, that'd be wild.
You can get so many radio interviews from that. That'd be crazy.
Yeah. I definitely do put some stock into what you said. Like this does have vibes like, everyone's going to be taking Washington on their survivor pools.
No, everyone. I would not touch Washington survivor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not this week.
Let's keep going. Let's see what we got.
Well, let's go keep going with the comments. We have
sorry,
here. It's a lot of trust in Harbaugh run heavy offense. Yeah, I don't know. I think Mahomes win MVP this year. Just got a gut feeling after 2 mediocre years. I can see that. I think the MVP will come down to we talked about it last week MVP, but I think it'll come down to Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, or Jane Daniels. I think it'll be one of those three. We got that one already, and that one Larry says Chargers and Chiefs are 4-1 during open week last 5 seasons. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean the Chiefs always do well week 1 outside that Lions game. Saints have won 5 opening weeks in a row. Yeah, they crushed the Panthers last year. It was a disaster. Colts are on a 4-game losing streak week 1. Yeah, and now do the Bengals. The Bengals have like the worst record.
Yeah.
Can't make an equal. It says the Chargers home field is so bad they'd rather play at home game in Brazil. That probably is a better situation for them. By the way, pull up the stat. The Chargers, since going back to LA, or just going to LA, I guess, the Chargers since 2017, they are 32-32 at home. They are 36-34 on the road. The road record better than their home record.
Wow,
pretty crazy. Redskins going to smack the Giants, man. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe everyone thought the Bengals were going to smack the Patriots. Brock Purdy can afford a 2-bedroom apartment in California now. Yeah, just a 2-bedroom. No remodeling though. He'll no finished basement. Just a 2. It's apartment. So yeah, it's pretty bad in California. He needs the money. I think is that with it. Yeah, he has to have like 5 roommates. Let's not go crazy here. Trey Lance, maybe. Yeah. Or I'm just thinking like the roommates in Silicon Valley, the TV show. Did you ever watch that Silicon Valley, the show?
I caught a couple episodes before, but I only a few.
Yeah, that was such a funny show. Could be Joe Burrow MVP as the Bengals make the playoffs. I don't really see the Bengals making the playoffs though. All right, let's. What we talked about that.
I know. I'm just being stupid.
that team sucks so much. The Bengals, they're so overrated. They're the most overrated team I've seen in a long time. I think they're going like 8-9. Wow. Panthers, Jaguars in hot weather at home, and new coach though, which is a negative, but they have the quarterback from 4 or 5 years now, and I think they're better than the Panthers. I don't trust the Panthers at all. What do you think about this game? Do you like either side?
I don't really have much of an opinion on this one so far. This is actually the first time I've looked at this really outside of a potential Y2K pick.
Well, we'll talk about that in a bit. But was a second look show for me, but first look show for you. It's fine. I mean, it's May. Like we have a lot of time to formulate our opinions here. So I love week 1. Like, there's uncertainty, which makes things difficult. But like, I love that you have like 5 months to think about this. I wish we had 4 or 5 months to think about every week. Like, I feel like I would have such an advantage if that were the case. Well, usually like it just goes by so quickly. And with like the 2 kids, not that I want to blame my kids, but like the 2 kids, like I just don't have time, and like it's I feel like I miss things. Like I just really want to get past that. Like I just try not to miss things, but I feel like I do sometimes, and it's really frustrating when I do. Even before I had kids, I miss things. So it's difficult. Just with so little time in between weeks, and then you have like the Thursday night game, and like it's just so much. I just wish they would cancel the Thursday night games, because like I feel like on Thursday nights before they went to that schedule, like it was sort of like a night off for me. Like I would go like out to dinner or stuff like that with friends, or sometimes have dinner with my parents. But like I would have time to work and like time to research stuff on Thursdays. Like just felt like such a nice night to like just have a break, because like on Friday we have to submit our super contest picks. Wednesday I'm still working on stuff like content for the week, and then Saturday like the games are about to go, and so it just felt like Thursday night was just like the ideal night to prep for the games, and now it's hard to do that. Anyway, not that anyone should feel sorry for me. I cover football. I don't know. It's just like I wish we could do better handicapping.
I feel for you for what it's worth.
Yeah. Steelers at Jets. So I was on the Play Like a Jet podcast with Scott Mason, who's been on the show a few times. We had our biggest disagreement. We went through the whole Jet schedule and predicted the record. this was our biggest disagreement. Like, he thinks the Jets are going to beat the Steelers week 1. I think the Steelers are going to beat them easily. What do you think about this game?
Geez, I don't really have an opinion on this one either. I guess I'll take the Steelers. I think the Jets are going to be pretty terrible, huh?
Let me sell you on the Steelers. First of all, Mike Tomlin week 1, another one of these great coaches. Yeah, it's a bad number, but like Tomlin week 1 just has a big edge. He went into Atlanta last year and like kicked the living snot out of the Falcons. And that Falcons team was better than this Jets team. The second thing I want to tell you is that Justin Fields was quarterbacking the Steelers last year, and now he's on the Jets. Do you think like Mike Tomlin might know a few things about his quarterback and like might be able to have the defense to confuse that quarterback and like maybe get some turnovers from him? Like, I don't know. And the third thing is if Aaron Rodgers signs, then this is like the ultimate revenge game. So Steelers look great to me, -3. As long as it's 3 or under.
Bet Steelers defense or special teams touchdown, huh?
I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I love those plays.
Yeah. That makes sense. Jaguars versus Panthers feels like an SEC championship. It definitely does. Schedule Maker said pure cinema. Yeah. So yeah, no, I like that. By the way, with special teams defensive touchdowns, the new rule is that if there's a touchback, the ball goes to the 35 now. So I feel like there are going to be more returns. So I don't know if the books are going to factor in that when they set their lines, but just something to watch out for. Not that I'm like familiar with what these lines should be, but I'm sure they're going to be on top of it. But there's a chance they won't be. We talked about Raiders Patriots already. Cardinals at the Saints. Cardinals are -4.5. It's kind of like sticker shock to me seeing this line. I was like, this is too high. But then I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, the Saints are garbage. But I don't know. There could be an overreaction here. Like, you know, Spencer, the Silver Snake Rattler, is going to have like a full complement of weapons, unlike last year. Maybe that's it's going to be enough to get them to cover the spread. I'm no fan of Arizona. I don't think they're that bad, but I don't think they're that good either. It's to be -4.5 on the road. Saints look good to me. What do you think? I'm not like crazy about that.
Yeah, I like the Saints here a decent bit too. I mean, I think. Like there's a good chance that the worst case could be they're looking at a backdoor situation here. You know, I like this. You know, just these are kind of knee-jerk reactions for me, just as a disclaimer to everybody. But I like the Saints here too, especially at home. I don't like the Cardinals that big of a number on the road. And who said earlier the Saints have started off strong for a while. Yeah, I think there's probably a good chance they're going to be around at least for a backdoor. There's a good chance of that.
I'll say this about the Saints. Something to be careful of is if Tyler Shuck starts instead of Rattler. Not that like Rattler is going to be better than Shuck long term, but Shuck is a rookie, and the Saints also have a rookie coach. And generally, when you have a rookie coach plus rookie quarterback in week 1, that's usually pretty awful. Last year, that was 1-3 in week 1 against the spread. You remember the one team that covered? New coach plus new quarterback? We talked about it like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah, the Patriots and
Patriots
against
over
the Bengals last year, which gets us right into our next game.
Exactly. And look, and yeah, like that could happen where they cover, but yeah, that's a dicey situation. And yeah, here we go. Bengals, who have like an atrocious week 1 and week 2 record under Joe Burrow. For some reason, this team just doesn't prepare for the start of the season. And they host the Browns, or they go to the Browns, and the Browns have had their number. For whatever reason, Joe Burrow has his worst games in Cleveland. It's 5.5. You know, if Flacco starts, I like the Browns quite a bit. Now, if this is Dylan Gabriel or Kenny Pickett, I don't know if I can bet this, but Browns at +5.5 with Flacco. They have the better defense. And you know, and the better offensive line, and I think the better coaching. I'm no fan of Zach Taylor. So yeah, Browns +5.5. I think could possibly be my pick of the month. What do you think about this game?
Wow. Well, I mean, you know, the Bengals, as you mentioned, their early season struggles are well documented, and their struggles in Cleveland seem to be pretty well documented as well. So I don't know, this, especially with the way their season ended, I feel like the public's going to be pretty high on them. And I think this could be, I don't know, like, I mean, do you think most people are going to think, hey, they struggled at the beginning of the season, or like, hey, they were crushing it at the end of last season?
No one's going to think that. Everyone, I told you before, like at the beginning of the show, every everyone on Twitter is like Bengals 12-5, like winning the division. I'm like, you people are crazy. The team with the worst defense in the record in the NFL is not going 12-5. Sorry. Everyone loves the team. Everyone loves the team. And after, so this before, like in recent episodes, when Super Bowl 59 ended, I posted a poll on Twitter, and I showed the odds. I'm like, who are you guys betting Super Bowl 60? Like, the most common response was Bengals.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of inclined to take the Browns here, but I don't know. I'll have to wait till the season gets closer. I understand your logic here, and you can probably talk me into it. It sounds like you're definitely going to want that on the card.
Well, that'll be on all my cards. By the way, real quick, I don't know if you heard Andy on Thursday. He was on the show. He said there were some changes to the Super Contest. They're going to $1,500 per entry. So I don't know if you want to stick with that or go to Circa, which is $1,000 per entry. Circa has the higher payouts, but there are more people in it. So there is a trade-off. So it's harder to win, but cheaper. But Circa, their payouts are so much better. Like, I mean, you can think about it. You can look at the payouts.
Okay, yeah. I'll think about it.
Yeah,
I appreciate the heads up there.
Yeah, for sure. So the Browns' loss is a win-win. I don't know if the Browns lose the starting quarterback controversy early. Yeah, look, as long as it's Flacco, or if it's Shador Sanders looks great or something, because like Sanders is actually like a legit quarterback in the NFL. Like Dylan Gabriel's not. He's 5'10". Like he's not a real player. And like Kenny Pickett's terrible. Like we've seen enough of him. Like I feel like if it's Flacco or Sanders, I have no issues taking the Browns. In fact, I'll take the money line too. But if it's the other two, no way. No interest.
Holy smokes, the money line.
It's only 2-1. It's kind of funny. It seems like some people might think it's outlandish. The Browns win at 2-1. Here I'm like betting golf. Like I took Wyndham Clark at 168-1 this week. Like, he made the cut at least, but we did have Scotty Scheffler 5-1, and he had a great day, man. What an amazing day by Scheffler. We'll talk about it like the final few minutes.
Okay.
Dolphins, Colts. Colts are -1.5. I don't really have a good take on this game. I think if this is Daniel Jones, though, I would have interest in the Colts. I don't trust Richardson, but I think Miami is awful. One of the five worst teams in the NFL. Any leans here?
I'm inclined to take the Colts, but I hope the Dolphins win, because if the Dolphins win, then I love the Colts the next week.
We'll talk about that in a second. Once we get through these games. Buccaneers at Falcons. I'm surprised to see the Buccaneers favored on the road because these teams are about even. In fact, I think Atlanta is maybe a slight edge, although Atlanta has a lot of new players, which is the counter to that argument. I think I would take Atlanta here. Not excited about it. If we got +3 or something, I'd feel much better about it. What do you think about this game?
I can't believe this line. Give me the Falcons. Yeah. I love Michael Penix. I really think this team is going to exceed expectations this year. I mean, that's a great one to put in a teaser if you guys are looking for a teaser.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually would maybe look into Falcons -6. I really
do -5.5. Do -5.5.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The Walt line, remember?
Yeah, the Walt line, the Walt cash. Yeah. No, but I'm very surprised to see this here. I'm very surprised to see this. I love the Falcons here. It seems too easy. That's the only thing the reason I'm hesitant.
Well, I would be surprised to see this, except like I saw the divisional odds, and like the divisional odds, like Tampa's like a huge favorite. Like Atlanta's like +250 to win the division, which seems great. I think that's like the best bet on the board for the division. That's just 50-50. You're getting +250 at 50-50. Like that's take that every time. Every single time.
I will take that. I think I will.
Yeah. All right. Titans and Broncos is the 4:00 slate. Vonix love aside, Sean Payton is another one of these coaches who is very poor in weeks 1 and 2. So no surprise the Saints have done better in weeks 1 and 2 after he left. I don't know why. Like Sean Payton just sucks in weeks 1 and 2 and then gets better. So that's why I'd be hesitant to take Tennessee. But if you take Denver, if you take Tennessee, though, you have a rookie quarterback playing against a great defense. So I'm not going to touch this game. Any thoughts here?
Give me Denver defense or special teams touchdown. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I have a weird feeling that this game could push.
Yeah.
But I'm inclined to take Denver.
Yeah.
But I'll lay off this one, at least as initial reactions here.
Okay. Niners to Seahawks. Niners are a short favorite, -1.5. I would lean Niners, I guess. The Niners lost a lot of players, so I really want to get to their season preview before I have a better opinion on this game. But I would lean Niners here. I think Seattle is trending downward. What do you think about this game?
I hate both of these stupid teams. I hope they tie. I hope it's 6-6 or something. A stupid tie. They did tie. Remember, they did tie 6-6 a couple with the 17-8 or 16-17.
Yeah.
Two teams I can't stand. So I don't know. I'm inclined to take the 49ers, but I won't touch this one.
Okay. Okay. Lions at your Packers. The Lions are -1.5. A lot of -1.5s this week. So good teaser opportunities here. The Lions lost both coordinators. They have to prepare for this game with both coordinators out. It's a big game for the Packers. They got swept by the Lions last year. I think they'll be eager to get revenge here, and I think that you can make the case that the Packers are the better team with both coordinators gone for the Lions. So I like the Packers. What do you think? And by the way, plus Matt LaFleur, week 1. Why wouldn't it be serious?
I'm so surprised to hear you say this. I don't know. This line seems weird, and they got to play Thursday against the Commandos.
Yeah, but they're underdogs. If you look at when you have 2 games in 4 days, players can focus on one game, right? The Redskins are not focused on the Giants. The Packers are a much better team. I know Giants divisional, Packers were a playoff team last year. There's no way. The Packers are they have the Lions or the Redskins. Which one's more important? It's definitely the Lions. And they're underdogs at home. They are 100% going to be focused here.
Definitely take Matt Golden anytime touchdown.
Matt Golden, week one, Matt Golden already.
Absolutely. Take him first touchdown. Take him anytime.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, I think what a moment for him to get drafted in Green Bay, first receiver in 23 years, to come out to that reception. That had to be what a moment for him. I think he's going to bring it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I think that was a great pick. I think that was a great pick by them. What do you think about that pick?
I think it was a good pick. I liked it
because it was a great pick.
I liked it because they finally addressed the position. Is something they really needed. Christian Watson out. When they don't have a deep threat, they really struggle. The only thing I worry about with Matthew Golden is he had 3 good games in Texas, and he had a great run toward the end of the year, and that's when he made his money. But if you look at his production outside of those 3 or 4 games, he just didn't do anything there. So I don't know, maybe he caught on late and is a late bloomer. I don't know, but I worry about the lack of production. And there's a bad history of lack of production in college, at receiver translating to the NFL. Scott Barrett, who does a great job. I can't remember what site he works for, but he's for DF. He's one, I think, probably the best DFS analyst out there. He did this whole thread on Matthew Golden and why he thought he was a bad prospect. This is before he got drafted by the Packers, so this is not anti-Packer rhetoric. This is a month before, and he just laid into Matthew Golden about how he's going to be the biggest bust in this class. And I think he made a lot of good points too. So while I gave it a good grade, because there was talk that Golden was going to go 12 to Dallas. I thought it was going to be way too early. 23, there's good value there, and you're filling a need potentially. So I don't know. I thought that's why I say it's a good pick and not a great pick, just because I think that there is major downside to this. If you want to talk great pick, I think Malachi Starks to the Ravens, 4 picks later, I thought that was a great pick. This I thought was a good pick, but it does have some major risks to it. Maybe it's not major risks, some risks.
I'm gonna shove it right in your face when he leads the league in touchdowns or something. I'm gonna bet him anytime touchdown. First game.
I'm saying he's definitely going to be boss. I just think that there's risk to him rather than someone safer. But I don't know. Quacky, I believe Seattle and Arizona.
You're right. It was Seattle and Arizona. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. How are Lions Packers not prime time? Yeah, that should be the Monday night game, not Vikings Bears. As much as I like the Vikings, although I mean, like Chicago is a team with intrigue. I think a lot of people like Chicago. 49ers are gonna have a tough season, man, despite having such a weak schedule. Their schedule is so easy, it's ridiculous. That is I think the easiest schedule I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, let's get to the last 4:00 game. Texans at. By the way, you never told me who you like in Packers Lions.
I don't know. I'm hesitant to take Green Bay, but
This teaser territory up to 7.5.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have a lean either way.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of like Detroit, but this line seems weird. I have to revisit this one.
Okay. All right. Texans Rams last 4:00 game. Again, Sean McVay, week 1. I love the Rams. I think they're the better team. I think Houston. I worry about Houston. I worry about their offensive line against Jared Verse and the Brandon Fisk and all the other edge rushers and pass rushers they have in LA. So Rams for me. What do you think?
Yeah, initial reaction. I like the Rams here too. But
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. Ravens at Bills, Sunday Night Football, another 1.5 point line. I said before that John Harbaugh has an amazing week 1 track record, but when you get to teams that are equal or better, it's not nearly the same. Like you want the Ravens like at home as like a 7-point favorite over a mediocre team. Like that's when they lambaste their opponent. You know, like remember that game against like the Bills back when the Bills sucked. They started can't remember which quarterback it was. So it was like some terrible quarterback, and like the Ravens won like 52-7 or something. Like that is when you want to bet the Ravens, or like when they're playing the Jets with like Joe Flacco starting. Like that's when you want to bet the Ravens. But at the Bills, you know, the Bills arguably maybe better. I think these teams are even. I have them right next to each other in my power rankings. I think this could go either way. There's MVP revenge with Lamar Jackson. Not that that means that much because like the Bills, this is a big game for the Bills as well. MVP and playoff revenge, by the way. So I think I would lean Bills personally, but I don't know. I think this is a tough game to bet. I would like the teaser Ravens plus 7.5. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like whenever you have like these games with like two strong teams and it's like -1 or -2 or something, I feel like the favorites always come through.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just pulling that from the eye test here. I'm actually going to go with the Ravens here. I mean, I think Buffalo's the better team, but I don't know. I mean, I don't love it. I probably won't take it. But
now I could forget this name, Nathan Peterman. Yeah, that was that was quite the game that that he had. What was
like
the final
2014 or 2015? I think that was.
Yeah, it was when they were so bad.
Remember Ryan Toole?
Yeah, Toole time. 47-3. 47-3. The Ravens beat the Bills in 2018. That was actually Josh Allen's rookie year, and then they started Josh Allen the next year. Yeah, John beat me to it. Allen's rookie year.
Wait, was it Ryan Toole or was it Jeff Toole? Or was it neither of those? Remember who Bills quarterback?
I thought it was Tim Toole. I could be wrong.
Tim Toole. It was not Tim Toole.
Jeff Toole.
Tim Toole.
Where I get Tim Toole from?
Home Improvement, probably.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's where I got it from. That's exactly where I got it from.
Certainly not Tim Toole.
That's where I got it from. Yeah, Jeff Toole. Tough game to pick. Will be great in tournament. Yeah, look, I like that you said Ravens because Ravens plus 7.5 is it seems great to me. This should be a very close game. I take the Bills. Josh Allen going to get concussion and the win. Why concussion? Interesting that you like the Bills. I think you can go either way. No, they started Allen the rest of the season because Peterman was just so bad. Yeah, Josh Allen started the rest of the way. Bills need to fire that coach 2 years ago. Sean McDermott. I don't know. I mean, he keeps getting them to the playoffs. If it wasn't for Mahomes, like the Bills would have won the Super Bowl, at least one already. You know, they've just run into the Chiefs. It's kind of like those 90s teams that ran into Jordan, like the poor Patrick Ewing and Reggie Miller and, you know, Karl Malone and whoever else, Charles Barkley, whoever else Jordan knocked out from winning a championship ever, you know.
Yeah,
It's
for
the
sure.
same thing. It's the same thing with Mahomes here, and also Brady before him. Like all these quarterbacks, like I feel like if you just eliminate the Chiefs, like Mahomes never entered the NFL, I think the Bills would have at least one Super Bowl, and the Ravens would have at least one Super Bowl.
Yeah, no,
You know,
I think you're right too.
because you know, in 2023, the Ravens lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. The Bills lost to the Chiefs last year. Not that the Bills would have beaten the Eagles, but still, like the Bills got knocked out by the Chiefs several times. So you know, that's where the season's ended all the time. So maybe this will be the year they overcome them, but I don't know. It's going to take a lot, just because how the coaching staff utilizes Allen. Yeah, I get that, but like Allen himself said that he doesn't want to run a lot in the first half of the season. That's something to watch out for in DFS, by the way. It's like play Allen in the second half of the season. Like remember he had that huge game against, what was it, the Rams, I think, where he scored 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns. Like the second half of the season is when Allen goes nuts. Like the first half, he just doesn't do all that much on the ground. So like that, you know, it could be an opportunity to bet his under rushing yards too. Just something to watch out for, you know, just prop wise and DFS wise. Because he even said he doesn't want to run until the second half of the year. Another 1.5 point line: Vikings at the Bears. Andy loves the Bears. I was shocked to hear that because I like the Vikings. What do you think?
Well, the line itself is kind of fishy to me. I'm inclined to like the Bears just because of the line, but I don't know, man.
The Bears are how do you really think this line is fishy?
Yeah, because I think the line. I mean, I expected the Vikings to be at least 3.5, 3.5.
No, dude, the public loves the Bears and they hate the Vikings. Remember how I said every publication on Twitter has like Bengals at 12-5. Every single publication is the Vikings like 7-10. No one likes the Vikings. I'm like, we're like the only people who like the Vikings.
Really?
Yeah. I was surprised. Well, not surprised because you know these people are stupid, but
that changes things for me because I mean,
yeah. Because if I'm these people who are like predicting the Bears to do well and the Vikings to suck, I'm like, Vikings are favored on the road. Give me the Bears. Plus 1.5 seems so easy. I was so shocked to hear Andy like the Bears.
Wow.
I really respect Andy's opinion, but like I think he's underrating the Vikings. I think everyone is underrating the Vikings. I think they're the most. I said Bengals the most overrated team, but Vikings are the most underrated team.
Yeah. What's September 8th? The Eagles are playing the Chiefs.
No, you have to look under. It's September 14th. The Eagles at Kansas City. Week 2. Another 1.5 point line. They love these Chiefs, which I love too because teaser opportunities. Chiefs are -1.5 against the Eagles. What do you think? Who wins the week 2? Not that we know it's gonna be week 1.
Give me the Eagles, man. I hate the Chiefs.
You hate the Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be that good this year. They're gonna fall below expectations. And I always feel like these Super Bowl matchups, the team that won always wins. I'm pulling that out of nowhere, but that's what it feels like, anyhow.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We can ask Grok, but
it was like every game here is the line's 1.5. What the hell, man?
I know. I said. Look, I said it already. I love it because you can bet it up to 7.5 in the teaser.
Yeah,
okay.
You like the Chiefs, don't you?
No. No. In general, I like the Chiefs. I think they're going to be good this year, and I think they're underrated too. Just because everyone thinks they're going to fall. Everyone I talk to thinks they're going to fall off. I don't see it. Like as long as Andy Reid is coaching, and as long as Patrick Mahomes is quarterbacking, this team's going to be at least 12-5, 13-4. Like there's no like this team was always 11-5 with Alex Smith at quarterback with Andy Reid. Like how are they going to finish with fewer than 12 wins? Like they're too good. Those guys are too good. The best coach in the NFL and the best quarterback in the NFL are not going to fall off. I guarantee it, unless there's injuries. Like they're not going to fall off.
Okay, I didn't say they're going to fall off. I said they're going to.
No,
I said they're going to fall below expectations.
Okay, all right.
That's different from fall off. Fall off is fall off the wagon completely.
So what's your projected record for the Chiefs?
11-6.
I think that's falling off for them.
Okay.
I have them in my preview. I have them. I can't decide between 12-5 and 13-4. There's one game where I'm going back and forth on. It's just kind of silly to go back and forth on like a simulated game in May. It's the Chiefs and Broncos game, week 17. I can't decide who's going to win that game. It's like on one hand, like I want to give a win to the Broncos because of their defense and stuff. But on the other hand, it feels like the Broncos haven't beaten any good teams under Knicks yet. I need to see it and it could certainly happen this year. Like I feel like they're going to be better. And I think there's a good chance the Broncos overtake the Chargers as the second best team in that division.
Mm-hmm. Wow, okay.
But I don't know if they're quite there enough to beat the Chiefs yet. I like I said, I can't decide. I feel like it's gonna be like we saw last year that one game where all the starters played. It was super close, and the Chiefs easily could have lost if it wasn't for the block field goal. So maybe I should give it to the Broncos, but I don't know. I was like kind of hesitant there.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we shall see.
We shall see. All right, well, we have one other game to talk about. Of course, I think it's time. If you want to,
give me week 2. Let's see, week 2. We've got Battle of the Horses. For those of you that have been watching for a while, we know that I almost, well, not completely, quit betting since the Battle of the Horses. After the Battle of the Horses happened, we're talking Colts and Broncos happened last year. I didn't place another bet again until the Super Bowl. That was horribly traumatic for me, and I think this year the Colts get the revenge, especially if they lose in week 1 and the Broncos win in week 1. I think the Colts come back, and especially if Daniel Jones is a quarterback. Give me the Colts in week 2 right now. I'm not gonna call it just yet, but this is looking like it might be the Y2K pick for the season. I really like the Colts in this year's Battle of the Horses week 2.
So it's in Indianapolis, right?
Oh yeah.
So what do you think the line is? I don't have it on hand, so I'm not asking you to see what you have compared to what it is. But what do you think the spread is going to be?
Colts -1.
Why don't you should just say -1.5 because every line's -1.5.
Yep. Is that what it is?
No, I don't know. I don't have it. I don't have it. I'm just saying that like for some reason it's -1.5. So
can you find it anywhere?
It's not on. I don't know. I'll look, but I don't really see it. Like,
what do you think it's going to be?
I think you're about right. I think -1.5 makes sense. So run through this again. So if the Broncos beat the Titans, does that have to be a blowout? Like, what if it's like a 3-point game?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's going to depend. Like, definitely. Like, okay, let's say they win and cover, and the Colts lose week 1, especially to a Dolphins team that with low expectation. Then I'm going to love them in week 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna love that. I really, really will.
And
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, though. I mean, even if it doesn't play out like that, I might still like the Colts.
And to add to that, said this just recently, but Sean Payton has a terrible track record weeks 1 and 2. So, you're getting a coach who just doesn't do well in the beginning of the season versus a team that I don't think is as bad as some people think. Like, it seems like people are like really down on the Colts. I think they're okay. I haven't done the season preview yet, so I may change that opinion. But I do like that you said that it has to be Daniel Jones, or not necessarily has to be, but you like it better if it's Daniel Jones because I don't trust Richardson at all, and I think Daniel Jones has just never gotten a fair chance in New York, and I think that he could be at least like I think there's a chance that Daniel Jones is like an average starting quarterback like for several years, kind of like Ryan Tannehill. I think he could be on that sort of level. Where like Tannehill's never great. Like I don't think Daniel Jones will ever be great, but I think he could be like a star, like a quarterback who gets the team to like 500 most years.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm interested to see how it plays out. Denver's going to start strong. We got 1 vote for Denver starting.
We'll see. I mean, like Tennessee and Indianapolis aren't like the 2 toughest teams, but I do like where you're coming from here. I'm on board with you right now. Now, like. Could change my opinions. Obviously, if if things don't go to schedule in weeks 1, like if Denver loses outright to Tennessee, like this is probably avoided. But I am rooting for you because the Battle of the Horses was pretty rough last year, and this is I think this is a good time to kind of like exercise your demons here to get good.
Yeah, definitely Captain Jonathan Taylor in your DFS that day. He's going to want revenge after he dropped the ball last year.
That's true.
He's going to go
100%.
off. Mark my
Yeah.
words. Mark my
And
words.
I have to do this. Things haven't been the same around here since the Battle of the Horses.
What is that? Oh, is that Woody? Is that you? The Battle of the
Uh,
Horses.
yeah,
That's nice. That's a very good hat.
yeah.
Where did
Things haven't been the same around these bars since Battle of Horses.
It's true. It's true. I haven't been the same. I haven't been the same at all.
I know.
Yeah.
I like I said, I think this will exercise your demons here. I said I was going to get a cowboy hat, by the way, and I found it.
Yeah, I gotta actually. You know what? You pulled that off pretty well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm actually. I'm not joking. I'm not saying go wear it out in public, but I'm saying it's definitely surprising. It's exceeded my expectations.
Well, look, I talked about how I don't care if I'm embarrassed at all in the last episode. Nothing embarrassed me. I don't care. I don't care what people think. I don't know why, like any grown man will care what people think. I just don't care. Like, why would I care what anyone thinks? So, like, I could, I don't know, wear this in public and see what people think. I don't know. I think I would only do it if I could, like, film it, like, secretly and, like, see, like, reaction. I don't think people will react. I don't think people
Yeah. Just be true to yourself. Be true to yourself, Walter.
Yeah. See, like, I don't like to like make a mockery of things just to do it,
Right.
But like I like the people who like dye their hair like pink or blue, like just to get some attention. I feel like this is like an attention grabbing thing. I don't like doing that. I just don't.
I gotcha.
You know what I mean? But like I would only do it if we're filming it and like trying to get reactions from people. Maybe if I started speaking like a Western accent too. Like it's good.
Yeah.
Go like Wawa. Like, things haven't been the same around these bars since the Battle of the Horses, man. Like, what are you talking about?
With the
Battle of the Horses. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and then you can just direct them to the podcast. It's a marketing tactic too.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, we've got all the bases covered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man.
Anything else in the NFL before a couple minutes? I want to talk about the brilliance of Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, go ahead, hit up your golf. We can wrap it up here. I'm already excited to talk some. We got some NFL takes here.
I know, it's awesome. Look at these beautiful odds. Scotty Scheffler to win the PGA Championship -450. We got him 5-1. Alex Noren's 18-1. John Ram is 22-1. Bryson DeChambeau, the People's Champion, is 30-1, as is JT Poston, and that's it. And then Davis Riley's 35-1. Look at the leaderboard here. It's good. Data Golf. Scheffler 11 under, 3 strokes ahead of Noren, and then you have 4 strokes ahead of Poston and Davis Riley. And then 5 strokes ahead again, John Ram, Siwoo Kim. That was our only bet, by the way. I bet four golfers to miss the cut. He was the only guy who lost for us. So we went 3-1 with plus money on each bet. That was nice. Johnny Vegas is 6 under as well. And then you have the People's Champ Bryson DeChambeau at 5 under. Scotty Scheffler was sick today. He went 6 under, and he bogeyed his first hole. He was 5 under to start the day, and he went down to 4 under. I'm like, oh man. And then he just like birdie, like he went nuts. Let's see his so he went like birdie, and then he had a couple of bogeys, basically birdie, eagle, birdie. Like he was on fire today. And like it felt like, this course is super long, but like approach play is so key, and Scotty Scheffler is the best approach player in the world. Like it just felt like when it was like a 450 yard hole, and he would hit the ball like 300 yards to 150, and it just felt like a layup, just like a 150, plop it right next to the hole, sink it in for birdie. Like it felt like he did that every single time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was so sick today, and it says he's 78.2% to win. I actually thought that was pretty low. I guess like 90%, which I guess like they have to be fair, but like none of these golfers scare me. Like Noren's not a good golfer. You just look first of all, look at Scheffler's skill profile. Look how big this Pentagon is, and then you look at like Alex Noren, who's like, it's okay. It's a decent Pentagon, but there's no driving distance, and this course is very long. He's a good approach player, but he's 42. Like, so you have Alex Noren, who recently got injured. He's coming back. Like, this is his second tournament of the year because he's coming back from injury. He's 42, so you have to worry about his stamina in round 4, right? JT Poston is he's an okay golfer too. He's fine. Davis Riley is also okay. He's like his approach play is really bad, which makes me wonder why he's doing so well here. So I think he could be bad. And then you have like the two best golfers that are chasing him are John Ram. Steve Pentagon's really good. He won the Masters a couple years ago, and then Bryson DeChambeau, who won the U.S. Open last year. He's the best driver of the ball. Like he's the best like elite distance. And by the way, his YouTube videos are amazing. If you ever have you ever seen his YouTube videos?
I have not. No,
they're great. He goes to like random golf courses in America, like private golf courses or even public golf courses, and then he asks the person in charge, like, "What's the course record here?" And he tries to beat the course record the first time he plays it. It's so much fun to watch because like random people are like, there's one video where like he's golfing. And like he's going through like someone's backyard is like near one of the holes, and like this guy who doesn't have a shirt on, he has like a beer in his hand. He's like, holy yes, is that Bryson DeChambeau? Like you see, he's like so drunk. It's so fun. It's so funny. Those videos are so good. I like.
I'll have to check that out.
He's really good. He has a video of Trump too. They try to break 50 on the short tees. So. Like he had like a good back and forth with Trump too. It was pretty good.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, so my point here, so DeChambeau and Rahm, they're the two best golfers chasing him right now. They both play on Live, and Live is only 3-day tournaments. And like I don't know if they have the stamina to play 4-day tournaments, especially in this heat. So I feel pretty safe with Scheffler. I'm not going to hedge anything right now. In fact, I think I'm just going to let it ride. Like unless like something crazy happens and like maybe Scheffler like gets injured or something, then maybe I'll hedge. But like right now, I don't see a reason. I'm not. If like Rahm and DeChambeau were like at -9, I think I'd be a little worried. But like Rahm is 5 strokes back, DeChambeau is 6 strokes back. Like to catch Scheffler, who's not going to make any mistakes. Like man, I don't see anyone catching him. Knock on wood, but. I think this 5-1 is going to cash for us. So hopefully that happens. That'd be nice to win this one. It'll be a 3rd win of the year. So
I'll be rooting for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh man, great stuff.
Yeah. All right. That's about it. Any final thoughts? Oh, and before any final thoughts before that out.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, I wanted to point out the Quacky Tea is back. Actually, I got an email notification saying that you were live streaming, and I was a little upset because not at you, but I was a little upset at the timing because it was like at 5:30 or something, and I was like I'm feeding my kids dinner. I can't.
Yeah.
If it was a night, I would have popped in and commented, but
yeah,
I saw you were playing Rocket League.
Yeah, I was on there. I did jump back on there. Give me a follow on there. It's just me talking nonsense and playing a few different games. So, but I appreciate everyone hanging out. It's fun as always, Walter. Great time to always just hanging out with you. So thanks for having me on as always, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Follow Quacky_T on Twitch. The conversations are great. I'm not a fan of Rocket League, but even still, like I'll still watch your stream just for the conversation. I think it's superb. So if you ever do it at night, I will be popping in if I see it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching and commenting. Really appreciate it. Love the back and forth we have with you guys here. It's awesome. We'll be back on Tuesday. I don't know what we're going to be doing next week, but we'll have guests and we'll have football commentary and stuff. So it'll be a good time. It's kind of like the slow time, like the second half of May. Once the schedule's out, there's really nothing going on. But we might do like some best ball drafts. Ken needs to be back on Wednesday. We'll do some fantasy content, so it'll be fun. But yeah, please hit like, subscribe, comment below this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. All that would be appreciated. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and go Scotty Scheffler.
All right. See y'all.